Good morning, Chrissy from Up the Windy Lane, and you probably wondered what in the world is this video going to be about? Well, we're going to talk today about what you can do to get away from the farm or homestead for a little bit if you choose to, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I do, and you can share some of the things that you do in the comments. So let's get started. So the first thing I do like to do is contain my animals if I need to. We're going to be away from here for a few days, back and forth. Everybody's not going to be gone, like we're leaving today, but our kids are not leaving until tomorrow. And then my husband is actually coming back for like a half a day and a night. And then the kids are coming back the next evening. So really there's going to be somebody here most of the time. So, except for me. I'm not coming back. I'm like going to be gone the whole time. So I am getting everything ready to make it as easy as possible for them to do what I do every day. That is what I like to do. I like to set up systems that will help me so that I'm not like a slave to my place here, that I enjoy it. Because if I'm a slave to it, then I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm not going to want to keep doing it. Just like the jungle in the garden where I don't want to be out there right now. So I'm cleaning it up and it's making it, I want to be out there. So you want to make it to where you want to be out in your garden, you want to take care of your animals, and you want it to not be so laborious and so time consuming if you don't want it to be. If that's what you want to do all day, every day, that is fine. If that's what you enjoy. I would love to be in my garden all day, but I have other things that I do. So we're going to go over some things, just like I did the dog food that you saw earlier. I like to try to fill everything up, even if it's on the lower side. Like if I'm going to run out really closely, I'll just go ahead and fill everything up. So that's filled up and ready to go. I'll fill all the waters up, which you'll see in just a minute. And I'm getting ready to feed the chickens food, which they don't normally get. So the chickens in here don't normally get food unless it's in the wintertime a little bit, but even then they can usually get out in the run. So I did put this back up. You can see all the tomato vines that I have pulled out of here. I just put them in here. I let them scratch. I let them eat the tomatoes. I have shredded paper over here. I throw the scraps in here, and this is their water. So I just filled this up this morning, actually maybe yesterday. So that should be good. I will of course have them check it while I'm gone, and they'll probably grab the eggs while I'm gone as well, maybe. But I'm going to feed them. So I'm going to fill this completely up, make the chickens as happy as possible. So you want your animals as happy as possible, as stress-free as possible if you're going to go somewhere. And so that's what I try to do. I have plenty of food out in the barn for Hattie and the goats. And the chickens out there, the ones that we couldn't get in here, they get out and find their own food, and they drink out of the water that's out. I do have chicks, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and fill this up because we want to get that done so to make the chickens happy and for this to be a lot easier to take care of. One thing that probably will happen is as soon as I start pouring this in here, they will probably come running in here. So I may toss it a little bit out the door. See if I can make as big of a mess as I did earlier. Got that filled up, shook it down a little bit. So they should be good. Got a little bit left. Let's put that in the greenhouse. And yeah, they should be good because they have all this out here. They can look for bugs and do all their stuff out here, and then they can eat in there if they want to. All right, let's take this to the greenhouse, and then I'm going to take you out and show you the chicks. But first, let's stop at the garden. You all know that I have irrigation. I'm going to show you that too. Somebody else likes the greenhouse, don't ya? Well, I just opened this. I guess I really didn't have to buy any. That was probably from last time. So I'm just going to dump all of that in there. Okay, well, I got plenty for next time. Have to try to remember that so I don't buy more. Since we're talking about leaving or going away from the homestead or the farm, your garden, animals, whatever you have, it may not be like right now in the fall. It could be in the summer. Like we left to go on vacation in the summer a few months ago, and my garden needed watering. So that's where irrigation comes in really handy. So if you have a way to irrigate it or keep it, moist with straw, or wood shavings or pine chips or whatever it might be to hold the moisture in, then that's going to benefit you and help you out a lot. Because I don't think anybody's going to want to come and water 24 beds that I have right now. That's going to be a pain. And I don't want to put that on somebody else. And I don't know that if it would actually get done properly. So we'll go over here to a bed that is kind of cleaned out and one that I haven't clipped off. But you can see my irrigation is just kind of laying there. Yeah, where I've pulled it out. So it's not like where it goes. But I have one that comes up and feeds these 3 lines that run down the length of the bed. These other ones actually will swirl in there instead of putting 3. I just put a big swirl in there and kind of do it that way. So that's what I do for my garden. If it needs to be watered, I have the timer. If you've seen my other videos, I have a timer set up at the house that I can water however many days apart, however long, whatever time. I usually set it to water about 6 a.m. Now when it's really dry and hot, it waters every like 3 days or so. I was setting it like every week. It really just depends on the season. If it's really, really hot out, like if it's early spring, I was setting it to water once a week because that's what I was watering before. And then as it gets hotter, I will just set it to where it waters more often. Now right now it's unhooked and I'm getting ready to unhook this line out here that goes to the caterpillar tunnel that still does not have plastic on it. We haven't got our first frost yet, but I know it's coming soon. All right, so let's go out here to the chicks and I'll show you what I do for them. So sad news, I did have 25 of the chicks that I bought before. So I did have 25 of these larger ones. 13 of them died. I have no idea. I was so upset, so I haven't shared about it yet. But I would come out here and find a few of them just dead. And I don't know if it was my fault, if I wasn't feeding them enough. I don't know. They had grass and they were able to eat and they had water. So I don't know. So these 12 are good survivors. So then I went to Rural King and guess what? They had chicks for 50 cents. So I bought more. I bought 13 more. So I just moved these smaller ones out here and I have to watch because they can get out if it's unlevel. But these smaller ones were in the barn, so I decided to go ahead and move them out here. Pepper, go on Pepper, to make everything easier. So they're big enough, they have enough feathers, they can get in here with the other ones and stay warm. I filled this up today, so everything is ready to go. Now, the thing about this is it is a mobile coop. I did put wheels on it, and it was over here, and it was coming this way, and it was gonna have to come around the corner. So this morning I went ahead, my husband helped me, we went ahead and moved it so it will go straight because this has to be moved every day. So in the morning the kids will move it straight. The next day my husband will move it for the next 2 days, and then I can move it on Monday whenever I get home. But that way it can just move right down, even go out into the yard, out of the fruit orchard, if that, that's fine. As long as it's on kind of a solid ground and there's plenty of grass, but it does have to be moved once a day because there are quite a few chicks in there and they do poop a lot. I put the food out here in a tub. I keep this out here, this jug out here of water, so that when I come out here in the morning before work or before the grandbabies get here, everything's out here. It's ready to go. That way I'm not getting out here if I'm running behind, which I do sometimes. I'm not running behind, and then I don't have to, it just takes me that much longer to get stuff done. So I try to place, now this may not stay out here the whole time. I may put that in the barn whenever I get back, but for right now and for other people coming, and I want to make it as easy as possible. A little peek at the caterpillar tunnel. Yeah, it's got lots of work. I did fix the rib. I did fix the end rib, which looks shorter because it's bent weird, I guess. I'm not really sure, but yeah, still working on that plastic. I did get the line, if you can see that. It kind of holds those steady, but that is about all I got on that. Let's just go ahead and go in the barn. It does not really change. One good thing is Annabelle's not here to be milked, so that is one less thing. But I was gone last year, my husband and I, to Virginia for the Homesteaders of America, and our 2 youngest did milk for me. So they're really good troopers. They did a really good job. Very thankful for that. So I have these 2 garbage cans. One holds like the sweet feed, and then this one holds the dog food. The scoops are both in there. Actually, my husband's never fed for me before, so he came out here with me this morning, and I had to show him, how much I get out of it. I don't, how much I feed the goats to kind of keep them away from Hattie's food, where I put Hattie's food, and so forth. So that's really all that goes on out here. There's no milking because everything is actually filthy. Well, I'll show you why we're trying to get the chickens out of the barn. This is why we're trying to get the chickens out of the barn. Because they go all the way over here. They weren't, but now they are. And this is filthy. I've got to clean all this off. They just poop on everything. Like, it is amazing how much they can poop just roosting. So it's been something my husband's wanted to do for a while. We used to have a coop out here. So that is why some of them are kind of used to being out here. And they do like it because it is really high. They probably feel safe. I have a hen sitting on eggs over here who was in the coop and she escaped. What are you doing, Miss Broody Hen? Huh? Yeah. Uh-huh. I'll steal that egg. She escaped that coop somehow. I'm gonna have to figure out how they're doing that. I'm pretty sure they walk around the perimeter just looking for a way to get out. But most of these, except for her, are new chicks that were hatched out this year. And they're kind of wild. And they're the ones that get way out here. So we're actually gonna have to get a ladder and knock them off. We came out here the other night and just grabbed 5 of them after they've roosted and stuck them in a kennel, took them to the coop and put them in there. Fun times. Let's go over here to the water. So what I did was yesterday, I went ahead and filled this water trough up with new water. And we keep these. This one out here, this stays out here all year. This one will be hooked up to electric. Hey, Miss Hattie, what you doing? This one will be hooked up to electric, so it'll stay. This is the best investment out here. And this one, for some reason, Hattie likes to drink out of that one. Annabelle's not here, so we're not going through as much water. What are you trying to tell me? Would you like an egg? Would you like an egg? No? You want an egg? Yeah. Do you want it? Good girl. She likes her treats. Okay. I think that's it. Now I do leave a list. I have a list on my phone that I keep, and I can print it out. I can, kind of add to it or whatever, depending on the season. It's going to be a little bit different this time. We have a dog that likes to run off, so he's going to be put out on his line, like all day. He goes out in the morning, and he stays on it all day, and then he comes in at night. Now, Miss Mavis will not leave the chickens alone, and she runs around the chicks that are in that mobile coop, constantly chasing them and scaring them. And I knew I shouldn't have left that red cup out here because she got a hold of it. And let me show you what she's been doing. So Miss Mavis likes to dig and obviously chew on things because she's a puppy. Don't you, Miss Mavis? We got to unwind you because you got wound up. Miss Mavis will be coming for a day and a half with us camping, and then she'll be coming back with my husband and hanging out here, won't you, Miss Mavis? And then the other dogs will stay here, and Pepper can be let out. We've had her, I don't know how old she is, like 10 or so years, so she knows she can be let out. She will, even though she has killed chickens before and she was a puppy, she doesn't really bother them now. She chases them, kind of. She just jogs or whatever. Let me throw this away. Now, if I have anything that I need to water, like I will today, I will go, actually, I won't have to water anything that's not under cover because we did get quite a bit of rain early this morning, but I will have to water some plants right here. So I will go ahead and water all my citrus because their soil is dry. I'm gonna go ahead and water those and the banana, get these all good and soaked, and then these will be good for a week. The citrus might be good for a couple weeks. The ginger is supposed to flower, is what I've read, and then die off, but it's not flowering, so not really sure about that yet. So I think that's kind of a nutshell of what I do. There's not as much to do or prepare for right now because I don't have I try not to leave if I have seedlings or stuff like that, because I've done that before and that didn't fare too well. If I have just stuff in the garden, if some of it, tomatoes, if they over ripen, if they fall off, if they whatever, then it's fine because they've been, been doing pretty good. But this is all kind of dying off anyways. And I'll probably, if I have time today, I may do a little bit of this, but I'm really excited about getting at least this one row done this week. and getting it cleaned up makes me feel a lot better. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have anything that you like to do, or you have systems that you put into place, I'm a systems person. I like to have things planned out. I want to know exactly, what's going on, and I just like to know and have stuff laid out to where people can take care of it and won't want to ever come back and help me. So so that is the plan. So if you have any systems that you use, drop them in the comments below. If you have questions, be sure to reach out and let me know. I hope this maybe was some valuable information. So be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to be lovely lights today.